The touch that he wants here, it's a little bit behind him after that first touch, just allows Arston to come back, who does really well to recover not only once but twice. But you expect Embolo to get a clean shot after the space he had on that first touch.
Embolo, a teammate of Flo Balogun's at Monaco. All the way in towards the back post and flicked away by Berhalter for corner number 4 for Switzerland as we reach the half-hour mark here at Geodis Park. It's the second visit for the US here. Last time was a 4-0 win against Ghana in October of 2023. A couple of goals that day for Reina, Pulisic and Balogun also scoring, of course. None of them here today. Rodriguez will take this out, Swinger once more. Go towards the penalty spot, and Zambi couldn't get there. Ishari curls this one in, and Turner can play. Martin Ishari, the 22-year-old, making just a 4th appearance for his country. Had a big year with Bruges in Belgium. He's named the Belgian League Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. He's one to keep an eye on. Has been linked in this off-season with a long list of clubs, including PSG, Manchester United, Juve, Dortmund, Leverkusen. Of course, this time of year, sometimes the list of clubs is probably more lengthy that get linked with players than actually the interest is there.
But a lot of linking.
Especially with the extra transfer window this summer that has just closed ahead of the Club World Cup. Akanji, whose Manchester City team will be part of the Club World Cup. You can see it this summer on TNT Sports. Akanji back towards Kobel. Quiet night for the Swiss shot stopper so far. And they play their way out of trouble really nicely down the right side. 25-year-old defender Isak Schmidt. Here's Xhaka, the captain, with a crossfield ball into the path of Ndoye down the left side. This is Rodriguez picking it up. And Rodriguez from distance, Turner spills, and it's put in by Embolo. And it is 3-0 after just 32 minutes in Nashville.
I think the desk at Dunny and Bees, I wonder if they're looking for their panic buttons. This is just really poor performance from the U.S. so far. Again, I mean, how easy to switch that ball, an overlapping run. I mean, no pressure whatsoever. A completely uncontested shot and a mistake from Turner to bobble it. And Bolo just in the right place at the right time. But yeah, the problem started way up 90 yards away when it was just really easy to break that first line of pressure. And again, just U.S. team not laying a hand on Switzerland. A lot of uncontested shots, a lot of 1v1s in wide positions. It's almost like a shadow drill, and Switzerland are playing to prepare for the game that's coming tomorrow. And Pochettino's got to be furious with just the energy level, the competitive nature that just hasn't shown up this game that was there most of last game.
Goals in 3 games in a row for Bril Embolo, the 28-year-old from Monaco. Such an experienced striker. He's played at 3 Euros, 2 World Cups. Scored against Luxembourg in March, and then in both games in this window. First against Mexico at the weekend in Salt Lake, and now tonight here in Nashville against the US.
This is where Tyler Adams becomes such a huge loss. That whether he was going to start or not, I mean, this is exactly the type of moment you need someone like him out on the field.
White turning, slides it out to Arston down the left side. Arston drives well wide of goal. The other one would be maybe someone like Chris Richards, who is probably the other big communicator alongside someone like Tyler Adams right now in this squad.
You're absolutely right. And it takes a really good first touch. And you can see far post. Aronson, he wants that to be curled, maybe played on the ground, but Arsenal electing to go the shot.
And that's the first US shot today.
I don't know if you can count that one. It's just, sometimes you're just incredulous that the energy is just lacking. That's just been such a performance so far, riddled with timidity, and it just, I don't see intention yet from the U.S. Let's see if that third goal becomes a wake-up call. It's just taken way too long to get into this game.
It's the first time the U.S. has conceded 3 in the first half since 2019 against Venezuela. Manzambi cutting inside! A great finish from Johan Manzambi on his first international start, his second cap. But this goes from bad to worse for the United States 10 minutes before half-time. Switzerland in complete control.
Poor turnover, of course, but just first touch. And you know, McKenzie initially tries to go close him. You know, there's no help there. He tries to get an arm out. I mean, this is just lovely balance and placement. Excellent goal. But again, just too easy for Switzerland. I mean, just a rout now. What a lovely finish that was.
19 years old, Johan Manzambi. It's his first senior call-up in this camp, and he has made it count. Scored for the under-20s in a draw against England back in March. A couple of goals in 11 Bundesliga appearances for Freiburg this season. Finished the season appearing in 6 games in a row. And making his mark at international level tonight here. After watching the way they played at the weekend, presumably you didn't see this type of performance coming.
No, it's dumbfounding. And I'm sure there are the loud, negative people that just want to jump in now. But it's really wild that you see this inconsistency where what's required and what the team is capable of will show up, and it's just not consistent, fleeting. Obviously, a lot of changes, some inexperienced players, but that's no excuse. This one, yeah, you can't sugarcoat it. This is, unfortunately, such a stark contrast to a lot of the positives of last game, and a lot of that negative energy will continue to boil on the sideline, and you know, the team has to start to demonstrate they know what it takes, they care what it takes, and when they get called and they put on the U.S. jersey, they're never going to let the performances drop below a certain level. But this is nowhere near good enough.
9 changes made by Mauricio Pochettino tonight to the starting 11 from the game against Turkey. Here's Manzambi down the right side, glides through into the penalty area, played back towards the edge of the box, comes all the way towards Rodriguez. Rodriguez floating it forward. Here's Yashari in round the back. Yashari across goal. Cleared straight back towards him. Everyone behind the ball apart from Brian White trying to defend here for the US. Switzerland scoring 4 goals for the second consecutive game after a 4-2 win against Mexico at the weekend. And Doy down that far side. Quinn Sullivan wins it back. Not too much forward as Quinn Sullivan gives it away to Akanji. And that one goes out for a goal kick off Abisha. US Soccer on TNT is brought to you by Volkswagen, presenting partner of US Soccer. The scoring opened by Danon Doy 13 minutes in. 10 minutes later, Abisha made it 2. 10 minutes after that, it was Embolo for 3-0. And then the third and fourth goal, just 4 minutes apart. US heading towards what would be a fourth successive defeat, all of them at home, having been beaten by Panama with that stoppage time goal in the Nations League semi-final at SoFi Stadium, and then Canada by 2-1 in March. ...175 seconds. 2 minutes 55 between goals 3 and 4. Yellow card shown there towards Quinn Sullivan.
And Sullivan and Aronson in that last sequence, leaving a little bit on the players. But I mean, this is how it should have started. Sprinting, closing the space, and if a player is able to get a pass off, it's not without you putting a little forearm or a little extra on them. I mean, it's the 42nd minute. Way too late to finally be showing some of that aggression, but at least some of these players are kind of at it. There's a pride that you got to feel. Like, I mean, being on the other end of a lopsided loss is the worst feeling ever, especially when you're representing your country. I mean, fortunately, I was never on the other side of those, but got to start to show up and care.
Xhaka, back for Yashari. Mauricio Pochettino, throughout his coaching career, has never been shy of making big decisions. I wonder what changes he'll make at half-time. Too easy once again here. Xhaka out to the left side. Rodriguez. Abisha's ball inside for Xhaka. Back out for Rodriguez on the far side. Good ball curled into the middle, and Mackenzie puts it behind for another corner here for Switzerland. 3 minutes to go until the break.
Tillman and De La Torre, I mean, you would think from last game, are the two players that you'd say at least you start to get the midfield back a little bit.
High ball towards Manzambi at the back post. Behind there by Harriel for another corner. Abisha will take it. Comes short here towards Yashari. Yashari with a good ball into the middle. Manzambi tries to bring it down. The flag is up for offside. And it will be a free kick here inside the final 2 minutes of the first half. Coming up next, the Volkswagen half-time show. Pitch side with Sarah Walsh, Dunny and Bees, who I'm sure will have plenty to say.
I can't wait to hear. We've been together and watched some performances that we just hurt. You know, we love this team, and to see it playing like this is just painful.
Berhalter wide to the right side. Sullivan to the edge of the box here. Can he create a bit of magic? Floating in, couldn't find. White at the back post as Kobel comes to claim it, especially given the fact that this week is the celebration of 1 year to go until the World Cup begins.
You know, the lack of qualifying is one thing to be concerned about. And obviously it's great to know you're in a World Cup, but the bad part is it's in those moments you find this spirit that never drops. And you know, what something looks like is completely irrelevant. How you go and get a win in those situations doesn't matter. You're on the road, you're in terrible situations, you just have to so you can get to the World Cup. I mean, this is kind of the opposite of that scenario where they're trying to put together performances and not really caring much about the results. But yeah, soon here it's just about pride and getting the muscle memory.
And Doy blows past the defense on the far side, but couldn't keep that one down.
Yeah, it's so tough too for these young guys. I mean, to come into a camp, especially debutantes, I was really fortunate that the times that I did that, I had a lot of veterans around me, and you feel less out there. You feel like next to you got someone, and a lot of times verbally or through a play or through an emotion, these guys kind of drag you through when you're a little bit timid or a little bit worried or you're reluctant as a young player. And that's one tough part with these guys is there's just not a ton of veteran leadership out there to drag them through it.
A first half to forget for Mauricio Pochettino and the US men's national team. Switzerland leading by 4-0 here in Nashville. Ndoye, Abisha, Embolo and Manzambi with the goals. The US soccer send-off match on TNT is presented by Coca-Cola. 4-0 in favor of Switzerland at the break.
To the players in the locker room after this first half performance.
No, I think to move on, we need to approach the second half in a better way. We changed now 5 players. Also was a plan to change in the half time, but now to change a little bit the system, to play with 3 central back and try to be a little bit more solid in a defensive situation and to provide more relax to the players on offensive to attack better. Yes, hope that the second half should be different than the first.
Thank you, Mauricio.
You're welcome.
So 5 changes to be made by Mauricio Pochettino. We see Diego Luna out there, Patrick Adjiman, John Tolkin as well. Looks like Malik Tillman coming in. And a double change to be made by Switzerland. As they bring in Stefan Gartenmann at the back. And also Miro Muheim. So Tillman, Ream, Adjiman, Tolkin and Luna, the players coming on. And a change of system.
Yeah, and there's some experience right there. And we heard it a back 3, and this just has to be a complete reset. Obviously bringing on some quality, bringing on some experience. Yeah, some players that have kept their level high. Adjiman didn't get a goal last game, but he, Luna, players that every time they've come into camp, every time they've come on the field, we've seen the fight. So we should definitely see a response from this group coming out here.
All change at half-time for Mauricio Pochettino. He did say there was already a plan to make some changes at half-time, but I don't think under any circumstances would that plan have been for all 5. So that is a statement being made by Mauricio Pochettino right now about how that first half went. New faces. Can there be a different outcome in this second half as we're underway here at Geodis Park in Nashville? The last time the US trailed by 4 goals at halftime was in 1980 against Mexico.
Just real quick, right there, 3 players pressing simultaneously in a sequence. It has nothing to do with quality. Anyone can do that that's an athlete. So it's just, that's one of the big things that was missing. We'll see if they can keep that up and turn the tide here and try to take over the game.
Tillman out wide to the left side. Tolkin's ball in for Luna. And Luna on the edge of the area. Tillman just couldn't quite get there as it's pushed forward to Manzambi. Players leading the game: Quinn Sullivan, Brendan Aronson, Paxton Aronson, Brian White and Max Afston. Luna, Ream, Tillman, Adjiman and Tolkin coming in.
That's two plays in a row. I mean, it really is that simple. Everyone's going to get caught up in how many caps people have and all this stuff. Of course, there is a discrepancy in quality that was out there in the first half. But right there, it does not take talent to close the ball down.
Here's Ream, who's now playing on the back line, the left side of a 3-man central defence. You've got Harriel in the right wing-back role, Tolkin on the left wing-back role. This is Tillman, who had an impressive performance against Turkey at the weekend. Lovely ball through, but couldn't quite find Sebastian Berhalter as it runs through towards Gregor Kobel. It's the first time ever that Switzerland have led by 4 goals at half-time on the road. Last time they scored 4 in consecutive games, which they have done here in the US, with 4 against Mexico at the weekend and now 4 tonight in Nashville. It was back in 2014 when they scored 4 in consecutive games against San Marino and Lithuania. So a big night for Switzerland. The US needing to find a way to show some resilience in this second half. Abisha's ball forward, and Doi chasing. Mackenzie able to get this one back towards Matt Turner, and Doi still chasing. And Doi getting the scoring going 13 minutes in here. It's his 3rd goal for his country, scoring in back-to-back games. Doi on the ball once again. Back towards Embolo. Embolo slides it through Manzambi. Turner comes up with the save. Hooked away by Mackenzie. Berhalter picks up the pieces here down the right side and should get a free kick there. For a foul by Embolo.
Great sequence there. And he just tries to lift it. Turner comes off, makes himself big. With a good save, a lovely sequence there from Switzerland.
As it comes to the left side here, and Miro Mörheim is the left back who has replaced Ricardo Rodriguez at the midway mark for Switzerland. There's Mörheim down the right, the left side as that one just rolls out of play. Mörheim coming on for a 3rd appearance. Played against Spain last November in the Nations League and Luxembourg in March. Plays for Hamburg, who finished 2nd in the 2nd division in Germany, just got promoted back to the top flight in the Bundesliga after 7 years away. So Mörheim, the Chelsea Academy product, coming on to replace Rodriguez, the Real Betis left back, and Doi down the left side. Ashari's ball towards Xhaka. Mörheim down the left. Back for Yashari, and the Bruges man puts that good cross in towards the back post. It's just kept in play over there on the far side. Schmidt's ball back into the box. Cleared as far as Adjiman, the Charlotte man who came on at half-time. A good tussle and a great turn there against Elvedi, and that has to be a yellow card. Excellent play from Patrick Adjiman.
So good. I mean, just the skill, the balance, the strength, spins. I mean, still almost gets away with it. Amazing. Through most of that play, I think Elvedi's just wondering how he's not going down yet. Really lovely turn. And just, that's one thing, too. It just takes the pressure off. You got a forward that can hold the ball, that can get you out of that defensive posture, that can let you get your breath and sort of step forward. So helpful.
It's Berhalter down the right side. Mörheim playing it backwards towards Kobel in goal. Kobel making his first squad in 2017, had to wait until 2021 for his debut. Free kick given on the far side for the challenge by Diego Luna.
Well done from Diego Luna, just running in there, and I think it's just the height of the foot, the cleats exposed, that the referee took exception to, but just going again, and that's the exact thing that becomes contagious, and every time he's come into the U.S. team, he's brought that sort of energy. I see his argument for that not being a foul, but I think the referee, just the posture of how that foot was presented, is what he took exception to.
Much better press there from the US as they force Switzerland into a mistake at the back. Diego Luna, the Real Salt Lake man, coming off the bench at half-time today after starting and playing 65 minutes against Turkey at the weekend. It's his 6th cap. He's already tied his career high of 8 goals in 16 starts this season in Major League Soccer. He's got 4 assists as well. Having a wonderful season. This is Xhaka. Xhaka with a crossfield ball looking to spring Schmidt down the right side. He's got space as he goes up against Tolkin. And Zambi. And back to the keeper they go, so we'll head down to Melissa Ortiz.
Yesterday, we got to speak to Mauricio Pochettino, and one of the things he wanted this team to focus on was progression, their will and their intensity.
Muheim down the left side, plays this one back towards the edge of the area, running all the way through to the far side, and Zambi couldn't get there, and Tolkin will look to clear it back here towards Turner.
And the second thing Mauricio mentioned was tactically how they are pressing together. He wants to see this team, their capacity to go and support each other. When you see the player go and make the effort to build that first line of pressure, that's what he wants to see. The problem is when the players don't press and there's a disconnect. So he says this team needs to be connected when they are out of possession. And that's something that we definitely did not see in the first half, but we're seeing a little bit more fluidity in that out of possession defensive progression in the second half.
Out it goes, off Ariel for a throw. Muheim takes it down the left side, gets the ball back from Ndoye. Pushed forward there by Yashari. Abisha towards the byline, and it's not gone out just yet. Ndoye has it, pushed towards the edge of the area once again as it comes back towards Muheim, who puts it out of play. And that's a throw here for the United States. Ndoye has been lively down the left side. Scored a big goal for Bologna against Milan to win the Coppa Italia final last month. Tillman laid off for Luna. He was looking for the ball through to Adjiman, but it just didn't quite come off. Muheim down the left, pushed forward there by Gartenmann. And now here comes Adjiman. Adjiman running at the back line here. Patrick Adjiman took a swing. Elvedi stood strong. Elvedi gets another block in here as it comes back out to Tillman. After a title-winning season at PSV, Berhalter. Now Johnny Cardoso. Cardoso linked heavily with a move to Atletico Madrid this coming summer from Real Betis. There's Ream, 2 Charlotte players coming on at half-time. Ream and Adjiman. McKenzie. Zimmerman down the left. Ream's ball into Tillman. Adjiman will chase. Elvedi across there defending. And Elvedi gets the foot in. And Tolkin just couldn't keep it in play. I think the referee's given that as a free kick, maybe. Was he giving it a throw?
I thought he did hit it off of Adjiman. Just the spin that the ball took, it just looked like he deflected it off of him. I'm going to look at it. Yeah. That's the right call.
With the pieces of the US have got, Mauricio Pochettino makes the change right now at half-time, given the circumstances of the game as well. But longer term, do you think that a 3 at the back is something that could be considered?
I mean, yeah, of course it could be considered. But I don't see the player pool leading to that being something that is going to get the best out of the group that you have. I mean, 2 center backs, right, with a lot of experience with cohesion and the combination. I think we're seeing that with, you know,